What's up, guys? Thank you for checking out the first Gallo Real Estate video. This one is going to be about my first transaction. I actually have my buyer with me to grill me and let me know how I did. My girlfriend, she's a Marine Corps veteran, so this was a VA loan, so that's a bit different. I don't know, you know, for your first transaction, it being VA is a bit challenging in itself. There's different things that come with the VA. They're a little bit more strict on the appraisals and inspections and things like that, so sometimes it's a little bit off-putting for sellers to deal with the VA buyers. So as you're about to find out, we went through a lot of ups and downs in this process, and a lot of real estate deals and transactions go through ups and downs. This one might have even been a little bit worse.
I am in a world of shit.
You know, it being my first deal too, there were certain curveballs that maybe an experienced agent would be able to take a little bit more in stride. The reality is that if you're a new agent, it's a must that you have a good team and you have good people in your corner who are willing to take time to help you. If I was by myself and just trying to do this all on my own, it would not have happened. I gotta give a lot of thanks to everyone at Coldwell Banker Exclusive, our office, who took me in and just took a lot of time to just get me up to speed and teach me the business to where I can function on my own. For any new agents, it's crucial that you have good mentorship and a good team.
Woo.
And without further ado, here is my first buyer.
Hi, I'm Sandra.
Is there any way that you can just like edit me out and then cover my voice?
Just drink faster, you'll be fine.
Okay.
The first thing we want to go through here is some of the big hurdles, some of the things that were probably pretty unique to our transaction that ended up happening. We were dealing with a nightmare agent.
Yeah, so that's like a lot of where like my anxiety came from. Mm-hmm. Like anxiety in the transaction. Some recommendation that I'll give to anybody who's going to buy a house or sell a house is just to be patient, because I was there to see everything that they had to go through. Like the agents do have a lot of hurdles that they have to overcome, and sometimes it's not on them. Even with me, and we were living together, about getting me to sign forms. Like he just kept being like, hey, they emailed you something. I'm like, oh, okay, thank you.
You were a good buyer.
That was crazy. That's for sure.
So let's go in order of the disasters that took place in the course of our transaction. We'll start from the first disaster and work our way to the last disaster. So the first one was probably the inspection. So the way it works is the listing agent selling the house is supposed to have the property ready for an inspection that the buyers get, right? So all the utilities must be on. That's pretty much it. Just have the utilities on. The buyer comes with their inspector. They get the inspection done. Boom. Well, the night before the inspection, I text the listing agent and I make sure that the utilities are on. He tells me yes, kind of hurries me off, you know, like he's busy or something. I'm like, okay, cool. We come back the very next day, and guess what? No utilities are on.
You had one job. Just the one?
The inspector can't do his inspection. So that sucked. On top of that, the inspector, he inspected the toilet. Looked like he had a good time in there. Had himself a good time in the bathroom.
So
the bathroom passed inspection.
I was in the hallway and I was gonna go see the master bedroom again, and I got this like smell from the hallway, and I'm like, no way, Nick used the bathroom in here. And then so I went into the room, the main room, and it smelled really bad. And then I could hear the toilet, and I went to go look.
He bombed it.
And
okay, so that was the first time. Second time, right? We line up the second inspection. I'm like, okay, there's no way this is gonna happen again. Same process. You have the utilities on, we have our inspector coming back. Yeah. And guess what happens? The utilities are not on again.
It's rough out there. What's the hardest part about being a clown?
3 times having an inspector out to get the inspection done. So in the course of the inspector writing his report, this agent has the to start giving me attitude about us taking long on the inspection report.
Yeah. After it was
Which
his fault. That we
was
had
baffling. I'm like, dude, I'm doing everything I'm supposed to do. You're the one holding us up. At that point, I'm kind of like, I'm still very new in real estate, and I'm just like, is this how this business is? Or it's just like, because I got into real estate thinking like it's like kind of a meritocracy, and everyone's kind of, everyone's competent because that's how they make money. They're dependent on their own competence. That was that debacle. So this was probably the biggest one and the most troublesome one. The earnest money deposit, escrow lost it. They start calling us, they call me, they call my buyer, asking for the deposit, and we're like, we got that to you. At that point, we were completely convinced that we got wire frauded. That was the only thing. It's like, there's no way that, they don't have our deposit when we wired it. We got wire frauded. Wire fraud definitely is a real thing, and that's really bad when that happens. That's always a horror story. So you got to be careful with that. That is definitely not something to be slept on. So we were kind of getting it from all angles.
I also had the paperwork that they gave me didn't match.
Mm-hmm.
Like the numbers didn't match.
There was a lot of
Copies
discrepancies
in there, and I'm like,
there was a lot of
this is
discrepancies.
not...
Yeah. So when we moved in here, we knew that the listing agent we'd been dealing with was the property manager for this property as well. Upon moving in, we started to meet the neighbors and talk to the neighbors, and we found out that they were actually have arguments and blowouts with this agent just because of him not fixing certain things. The back wall was really damaged, and he would say he was going to fix it, and he wouldn't. The actual offer part of the deal was very smooth. We got a call like a day or two later saying that they accepted. And we're like, holy crap, like I just offered at asking price. But, asking price was higher than it should have been. So then from there, we knew the appraisal was going to come in low because the house was listed too high. So it did. And the listing agent then reached out and said, if we're not willing to make up the difference in cash, or, we're not willing to eat that disparity there, that they had a cash buyer who was offering that amount, the high amount, and they were going to go with him instead. And my bullshit detector was going off. I don't know of any investors, maybe it's world's worst investor, that offers cash that's way above value. Yeah. I mean, that's not something that happens. So I didn't buy it, and I figured this was a negotiating tactic to get us to jump up. So then the deal carried on as if he'd never said anything about this cash offer. We ended up following through and then closing. Well, almost closing. Our deed got lost in bad weather in Indianapolis.
Oh, come on, man.
We couldn't track it down. We were waiting what seemed like forever. And, the saying is that time kills deals. You don't want time to continue to pass. This close to finalizing a big transaction, you don't want any of this stuff happening. So you went through the process in a big way. What would you tell people who are about to be, about to go into the market to buy their first home?
If you want to buy a house and you have the funds and you have the job, go ahead and go get qualified to see what you even qualify for. It might not even be the amount that you want to get a house. But if it is, then you should contact, somebody that knows what they're doing, that has been through that has dealt with some shitty ass other real estate agents, so they know how not to act. Like if you only get approved for X amount of money and you're looking in a city that's more expensive, I mean, you're gonna have to sacrifice square footage, rooms, being upstairs versus downstairs if you're buying a condo. So please just be realistic. Like, I know that a lot of people get qualified for a house and they feel like, oh, they can buy, my friend bought a house 4 years ago and he bought it in this area for this amount of money. The market is very different than it was a few years ago, and it's gonna continue to evolve, especially with supply and demand.
If you're qualified for, say, I don't know, 450,000, you don't necessarily in this market right now want to go out and start putting in offers on houses that are listed at 450,000.
Yeah.
Because you're not allowing yourself any negotiation room. The market's crazy. There's not enough houses to go around. Well, thank you guys for watching this video. I look forward to adding more content on here. We're going to be doing a lot of fun stuff. Not going to be very cookie cutter. I'm not going to hit you with the graphs and market updates and all that. That's for other agents to do, and there's plenty of that out there, so I'm not going to be doing that stuff to you guys. I do want to say, July 22nd, I'm sponsoring my good buddy and very talented artist, Aaron Melendez. He's going to have a booth at the Canoga Pop Art Show. It's a free art event. Shout out to the people putting that on. There's not a lot of all free art events. The artists are allowed to go and sell their stuff, and the show takes $0 from them. So it's all for the artists. Check it out. I'll add a link on here, but you guys should definitely come by, check out Aaron's booth, and have a good time there. Also, I started a Facebook group called Small Biz Love. I'm trying to blow it up as big as possible. It's basically just for anyone to join. I encourage everyone to join the group and shout out your favorite small businesses. I know what COVID restrictions have done to them was, in my opinion, very unfair. So I wanted to start this group to just highlight them, get some shine on these businesses that are just hanging on or trying to get back into normalcy, if that's a word. So, Small Biz Love on Facebook. Please go ahead, share it, invite yourself into the group. We'd love to have you. And start shouting out some businesses. I'm personally, like, anything I see on there, I'm going to go check out. So, I just wanted to help them out in any way I could. I thought that was kind of a cool way. So, Small Biz Love on Facebook. I will link it. Go join it. Share it. Thank you guys for checking out the video. See you on the next one.
Thank you. I thought you were going to dance with me.